He wants to race you. Is that all right?
We race? Let's do
Electric scooter versus electric Tesla. In this video, we're going to unbox, set up, and walk through the Kaabo Wolf King GT, our most requested electric scooter over the last few months. This is the heaviest Kaabo scooter and the fastest Kaabo scooter ever. We're gonna unbox it today. Andrew, tell us more about it.
Yeah, we've got the Wolf King GT in the house here. It's got dual 2000 watt motors compared to the dual 1500 watt motors on the original Wolf King. Sine wave controllers, which I love. It's the same thing that's on the Bronco. Taller handlebars, wider handlebars, and a lot more power.
Andrew loves his power scooters. I love the smooth scooters. This looks like it's gonna be the combination of power and smooth with the sine wave controller. Let's get it open.
Yeah. Big shout out to Voro Motors. We appreciate you guys for sending this over to us to review. Looks like there might be two chargers in this scooter. That's really nice. 84 volt max. Oh, 1.5 amp charging. So it's not actually 2 amp charging, it's 1.5 amp charging. So combined with both of them, you're getting 3 amps worth of charging. I like that they have taken the kickstand off of it and make you put it on afterwards, because kickstands were the #1 thing sticking out of boxes on the Kaabo Wolf King and the Wolf Warrior 11 Plus. Whenever you saw a box, almost inevitably, there was always a hole sticking out, and it was due to the kickstand. Wow, this thing is massive. This is awesome. So we'll go ahead and try to get this thing out. I think I get it. Yes!
All right, so we've taken it out of the box, and a couple things right away that just jumps out at me is this front part here, this almost like shield. It looks pretty darn amazing. I love how tough that looks. It's solid. Compared to the other Wolf Warrior here, I mean, it's just kind of open, and here it's solid. That looks tough.
Yeah, this is where they've actually put the controllers at now too. So this serves as two purposes. It helps for cooling the controller, so there's always wind passing by it. And it also makes it so there's more room in the deck, so they've made a bigger battery. The previous Wolf King had a 72 volt by 28 amp hour system. This has a 72 volt by 35 amp hour system, so it equals to 2,520 watt hours.
So because they were able to move the controller out of here and into here, they're able to fit more battery into the deck. Pretty impressive. Okay, while Andrew does that, we're gonna go through the instructions and see how well they did. No acrobatics. Comply with the related laws is one word now. I guess they don't have the space bar. I kind of feel like spell check should have picked that one up. Overall, I mean, this is kind of your standard English instructions written by a non-English speaker. So we've got it all set up. I will say the setup on this, it looked really easy. I just told the camera. Andrew sets them up, but now that we have it all set up, Andrew, why don't you give us a walkthrough on the scooter?
One of the biggest and coolest differences that we've seen on this is there's that TFT LCD display. It is sine wave controllers now. So the one thing that mini motors controllers were lacking, all the mini motors have always been square wave controllers. If you're in 3rd gear and you're on a mini motors controller, when you go to barely press down the throttle, you can feel it jerk immediately. Basically, you can modulate a lot better. You can go 3 miles per hour perfectly fine, but if you want to go 60 miles per hour, you can go ahead and press it really hard.
Yeah, so if you go back and watch the POV footage of Andrew or Adam from Wrong Way or Ginger on Wheels, when you watch them on a scooter that does not have sine wave controllers, that has the square wave controllers, you'll see them feathering, like throttling and feathering a bunch to get it to the speed that they like. Whereas on something like this, it's easier to feather just using your muscle control.
You have this new controller that controls turn signal indicators. So you actually have a right turn signal indicator that goes down the side right here.
I like that.
Scooters nowadays, they're starting to have a lot of rear turn signal indicators. This one actually has front turn signal indicators.
Yeah, you can see it from the front. You can see it from the side, you can see it from the back. What this does, one of my biggest problems is turn signals are important because when you're riding a bike, like one of our e-bikes back there, you can use your hands to signal to let motorists know which direction you're going to go. But on a scooter, if you take one hand off, you become very unstable. And so the fact that you have a turn signal is important to let motorists know which way you're going to turn. The problem is this is much too low. And so having something higher up is very helpful. I like that. It's a good solution.
So here's the lights too. The lights on these are always bright. This is one thing I've always loved about Kaabo scooters.
You can feel the heat coming off of those things too. So this is probably the most damage that this scooter received upon shipping, is the lights came detached. Looks like we'll just have to glue those back on. It shouldn't be any problem. I think the biggest problem though is the lights don't work on the part that has detached.
It has 160 millimeter brake discs with Zoom hydraulic brakes on there. I do prefer nut hydraulic brakes, but Zoom hydraulic brakes are great still. So a lot of people might not have an issue with that. I've just ridden so many scooters that I do prefer nut brakes, but Zoom hydraulic brakes are still great.
One of the other things that I've noticed on the Kaabo scooters, they use this silicone grip on the decks. The silicone grip usually isn't glued on. If you come over here to the other model, you can see how you can just lift that up. And on this, it's glued on. It's good in the fact that you don't have to worry about the slipping or flapping. To access the deck, it's going to be more difficult. You're going to have to peel off the silicone, which I'm sure you could do. I just don't want to do it right now because we're not going to go in there right now. Should we get some measurements?
Yeah, let's get some measurements on here so everybody can see the difference. The decks should be the same, 20.5 inches by 9 inches. So the deck has remained the same. The biggest difference is the handlebar height and the handlebar width.
Here's Andrew riding a previous version of the Kaabo Wolf King, and as you can see, the scooter looks way too small for him. Let's see what changes they made to the GT scooter size.
The previous version, the handlebar height from deck is about 37 inches on here, and the handlebar height from deck on this now is going to be 39, almost 39.5 inches. So a good 2.5 inches taller than the previous version. The width on the previous handlebars is 25 inches, and then the width on these handlebars is a good 29.5 inches now. So a good 4.5 inches wider, which is gonna be way better for stability at high speeds. Nice power on this one.
That was fast. That is one fast scooter.
I got up to 58 miles per hour though.
58?
58 on here, so that's pretty good.
The day we filmed the unboxing was freezing, literally. There was freezing rain falling from the sky so cold it froze my car door shut. And while it didn't stop us from unboxing the Kaabo Wolf King GT, it was far too cold and dangerous to go out and do a first impressions ride. But in true Colorado weather fashion, less than 48 hours later, it was over 30 degrees warmer, and the sun was shining, so Andrew and I dropped what we were doing and went for a ride around town.
I did a max of 57.7. It's pretty nice. This thing's got a ton of power. Compare this to the Wolf King. Even though they're the same 72 volt system, this one's way more powerful. But it does have dual 2,000 watt motors versus dual 1,500 watt motors.
And you don't look as cramped when you're riding.
Oh yeah, exactly. I don't look like that small, little cramped up. This is really nice. I love the way this feels riding.
Green.
There are many electric scooters that are mediocre, and there are many electric scooters that we like, but there is just a short list of e-scooters that genuinely wow us. And without spoiling the follow-up video to this Kaabo Wolf King GT unboxing, I will say that this e-scooter really wowed us right out of the box. You see, a lot of times sequels never live up to the original, but this sequel in the Kaabo Wolf collection, on initial impressions, really does seem worthy to have the name King.
So much smoother than the square wave on the mini motors display and controllers.
Here, pull up next to this Tesla and let's tell her you want to race. All right, he wants to race you. Is that all right?
We race.
Electric scooter versus electric Tesla.
We're two guys who, when we're not spending time with our families or working our day jobs, we're riding and filming and blogging about personal electric vehicles for you. So, if you found anything of value in this video and you want to support us, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing.
This thing's got so much power, it's awesome. I love it. It feels awesome. I love the stiff suspension on it. It feels, even though it's supposed to be the same suspension as the Wolf King, it feels stiffer to me.
Okay, go fast.
Thanks for the support, and remember, when you ride, be sure to wear your safety gear.